Hey everyone, today I have a guided cool down and stretch that'll take you about 15 minutes to complete and is perfect to do after an at-home workout or a workout at the gym. Look, I get it. Some days when you're done with your workout, you just want to be done. So we rush through some stretches or maybe skip them altogether and just go on with our day. But you really shouldn't. Stretching and other modes of recovery are just as important as the actual workout. That's how we're going to keep our body feeling its best and staying injury-free. This cool down is going to include some movement to kind of gradually bring our heart rate down and some dynamic stretching, but it's really going to focus on static stretching, which is holding one stretch for 30 seconds. This is a generalized cool down, so it's going to focus on the main muscle groups and the main problem areas I see in most clients, which is tight hips, rounded shoulders, tight chest. So we'll pay some extra love to opening up the chest and really opening up the hips as well. But everyone's different. If you're working with particular muscle imbalances or maybe you're recovering from an injury, your cool down might need to include some additional stretches. You also might want to consider foam rolling in addition to these static stretches. Bottom line, always listen to your body, modify, stop as needed. And with all that said, let's get to this cool down. Okay, to start, just 3 deep breaths in, and as you inhale, I want you to reach those arms up overhead, full body stretch, and exhale, release those arms twice more. Inhale, wiggle around at the top, exhale, release. Last time, inhale, exhale, release. Okay, arms up overhead, one hand is gonna grab the opposite wrist. I want you to pull up and then stretch over to the side for a side body stretch. We're not going to stay in these for a full 30 seconds. We're going to be doing plenty of twisting when we get down to the ground. Back up through center, and now just switch. So other hand is going to grab opposite wrist. Think of getting taller and then reaching long to the side. Come back through center, release. Okay, we're gonna take a standing quad stretch. If you need some balance help, you can always bring your hand to a wall or a chair. You're gonna grab one foot in the hand. You're gonna tug it in towards your bum and make sure that you're pulling up and in through the low abs. So if you don't engage through the core, you might be dumping into the low back like this. And if you do that, you're not gonna feel the stretch across the top of your thigh. So abs in tight, gentle tuck to the tailbone. I like to start standing and upright when we cool down. I find that especially if your heart rate is really high from the workout, if you go right to a leaning over position, kind of get a little dizzy. All right, now we're just going to release, shake it out, and we're gonna do the same thing, other leg. So opposite foot, catch it in your hand, gentle tug in towards your bum, abs in tight, and every exhale and inhale, just think of breathing into the areas you feel tightness. We're getting into the top of the thigh here, that quad. And if you need any balance help, hand to a chair. Few more seconds here. All right, release that leg. So now we are going to make our way to a lizard lunge. So one foot is forward, big step back with the other foot, and we're gonna bring both hands to the inside of that front foot, so you might need to shimmy it out to the side. And then from here, I like to drop my back knee. Now you might stay here with your hands upright, or if you have the mobility, you might come onto your forearms, up to you. I also like to take this knee and drop it slightly out to the side. Make sure you're rolling onto the razor edges of your foot if you do that. So one of those versions here, whatever's feeling good, and then just hold in this lizard lunge. That was a lot of talking, so I'm going to keep you here just a little longer than the 30 seconds. All right, and now we are going to come back and just switch sides. So other knee goes back, other foot steps forward. If you did this with your back knee lifted the whole time, you can do so again on this side. Otherwise, I like to drop that knee. Hands, or you can come to forearms if joint mobility allows, and you also have the option to drop that knee out to the side slightly, rolling onto the razor edges of your foot, which is what I like to do. Once you find that position, just hold here. few more deep breaths in and out. Okay, now I want you to step back, find a plank position, and just walk your hands back towards your feet, and we're gonna find a forward fold. Now, options in this forward fold, you could just hang here, soft bend to your knees, or you could grab opposite elbow with opposite hand for a ragdoll. Whatever feels good. Deep breaths here, 30 seconds. So in this one, you're gonna feel a nice opening through the backs of your legs, so we're getting the hamstrings, but I also want you to feel a nice release through the back, and I know for me, I hold a lot of tension right in the base of my neck, and this feels great for that as well. You can always nod your head yes and no a couple times before just letting it hang. All right, now if you're grabbing your elbows, I want you to release, and we're just gonna take a couple flat back to forward folds here to move the spine out of this. So I want you to inhale, hands come to your shins, reach your spine long, shoulder blades slide back, neck is long. Exhale, release. And let's just do that twice more. Inhale, long through the spine. Exhale, release. Last time, inhale. Exhale, release, bring your hands to the ground. I want you to step back into a plank, and we're gonna lower ourselves all the way down to our chest. You do not have to do it like that. You can always put your knees down, and we're gonna be laying down here. From here, I want you to move your hands out wide to the side, so to the outsides of your mat. Tent your fingertips here and point your elbows up to the ceiling. We're gonna inhale and lift our chest, and on the exhale, you're gonna dip one shoulder to the side. Come back up through center and do the same thing to the other side. And I want you to keep moving like this. Do about 3 on each side. Up through center, dipping. Eventually we're gonna hold in stillness. I just want you to start with some movement. So I'm gonna do once more to each side. All right, meet me back in center. Now, you might choose to just hold the stretches we were doing, dipping one shoulder to the side. That's gonna be less intense of a chest opener as to what I'm about to show you, okay? If you wanna come with me, I'm going to do a T stretch. So laying down, you're gonna reach your arms long in a T shape. Now, keeping your left arm long, we are going to roll onto that left shoulder. I'm bringing my right foot to tap the floor behind me, and I'm holding open like this. So you should feel a big stretch across your chest and through your shoulders here. And again, if this is too intense, I just want you to go back to the dipping that we were doing and hold one side. If you sit hunched over at a desk a lot, or you just otherwise have rounded shoulders like I definitely do, this seriously is one of the best stretches for you. Okay, we're gonna come back through center, and we're just gonna do the same thing to the other side. So, other arm extends out long in a T. Hopefully I don't crush my mic here. There we go. And you're gonna bring the right foot now up and over behind you, and hold here. Couple more breaths. I love this stretch. I swear I could hang out here all day. Okay, let's roll it back through center. Come onto your stomach. I want you to plant your forearms on the ground. Roll your shoulder blades back, lift your chest. Hold here, and if this feels okay, I want you to come a little further into it, into an up dog. So you are going to press up onto your hands here. Tops of your feet are on the floor, abs in tight, squeeze your quads. And this is another one, we're not gonna hold for 30 seconds. I just want you to move side to side. I want you to look over one shoulder, come back through center, look over the other shoulder. Let's just do that once more each time. Little look over the shoulder. If this is too intense, come back onto your forearms, okay? Hold that position. Back through center. Okay, and then from here, we're gonna come into a down dog. So you're just gonna roll over your feet. Start by pedaling out your heels, bending one knee at a time. And then I want you to hold both heels down for a calf stretch, and we're gonna stay here for 30 seconds. So I know that down dog is not a restful position for everyone, and if this is too much, if 30 seconds is too much, you can always take a standing calf stretch instead. Otherwise, I want you to make sure you're pushing the ground away through your palms, open through the chest, breathing into the backs of the legs. All right, now we're gonna come into some hip stuff. So from here, let's just start with reaching our right leg up, bending the knee and rolling open. Take a couple hip circles here. We're gonna be taking this into a half pigeon. Good, reverse the direction of your hip circles. Try to keep equal weight in both hands as you do this. Okay, and now we're gonna bring that right knee forward towards our right wrist, and we are gonna come into our half pigeon. Now, if you love pigeon, you can stay here more than 30 seconds, okay? You can always pause the video. You might need to place a block under your hip or under your forehead, whatever feels comfortable. Deep breaths here. All right, again, if you want a longer pigeon stretch, stay where you are, pause the video. Otherwise, let's come back into that downward dog. Pedal out those heels, and now the other leg is gonna reach up towards the ceiling, bend the knee, open up your hip. Give me a couple big hip circles. And let's just switch direction. All right, we're gonna bring that knee behind the left elbow. Scoot your back foot behind you, coming into half pigeon on the other side. Blocks can be used here, or you can just roll up a towel and put it under that hip if that helps. All right, and that is 30 seconds. Again, if you want to spend more time in your pigeon, go for it. We're gonna come to a seated position, so just roll onto that left hip, bring your right foot up, and we're gonna meet in a cross-legged seated position. I'm just gonna do it facing this back wall so you can see what we're doing. We're gonna come into a tricep stretch. So I want you to bring one hand up overhead, bend the elbow, palm towards your back. Hand is gonna come behind the elbow for a gentle tug down. Now you might stay right here. If you want to ramp it up a notch, you can take your bottom hand, flip it so the palm faces up, bring it behind your back, maybe those hands touch, maybe they don't, and you could hold here, up to you. This is harder. This is gonna be your base position. Make sure you're sitting upright, core is active here, and we're not bowing our head, okay? Okay, releasing that arm, we're just gonna do the same thing on the other side. So other hand comes up, you could take your simple tricep stretch like this, or if you wanna get the other arm involved, bring it down, flip the palm out. Whoo, this side I'm a lot tighter than the other one, and you can come like this, either grabbing your hands if you have the mobility, or just keeping the gap. Also, a strap can be used between your hands if you wanna take that alternate position. And releasing that arm, shake it out. We're gonna come onto our backs now. Yay, we're at the lying down portion of this. That means you know we're getting close to the end. So we are gonna lay on our backs as if we were coming into a figure four. So I want you to take the right ankle, cross it over your left kneecap like this, and make sure that your left knee is bent with the foot flat on the ground. Now it might seem we're coming into a figure four stretch. We're gonna skip figure four because we basically already did that with that half pigeon. Instead, we're gonna kind of get into the IT band in the outer hip area. In this figure four position, I want you to just drop your whole lower half over to the left so that that right foot is flat on the ground like so. From here, if you want a deeper twist, you can turn your head to look to the right. You can stretch your arms out in a T, whatever works for you. Hold here. Now, if you don't feel the stretch in your hip, you need to pull your left knee up a little bit closer to you, and then you'll feel that more intense stretch. This is another one where I could hang out in it all day, and if you do want to spend longer in these stretches, go for it, but that is 30 seconds. So let's bring everything back upright. Feet mat's distance apart, and I want you to just windshield wiper your knees a couple times, side to side. And we're going to repeat that on the other side. Okay. So now your left ankle crosses over the right knee. So you're in this figure four position, and you are just going to drop over to the right. Your left foot plants on the floor, and if you don't feel the stretch here, you just need to move everything up a little higher, closer to hip height. All right, one more time. I want you to bring them back up, feet flat on the floor, windshield wiper those knees side to side. We're getting to the end, guys. We're gonna come into a happy baby here. So laying on your back, you're gonna bend your knees. Hands are gonna grab either the inside or the outsides of your feet, and you're gonna pull those knees down in towards your shoulders. 30 seconds holding here, but if it feels good, you can add in a little movement. Sometimes it feels like a nice massage for the lower back to sway side to side a little bit. Whatever feels good here. All right, bringing your feet down, reach your legs long. Arms are gonna reach up overhead, big full body stretch. And that is your cool down. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give this a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I post new workouts or videos here every Monday. They're usually workouts. This week we did a warm up and a cool down instead, but we'll be back to the workouts next week.
But I wasn't grown up in my home. But I wasn't grown